Nope. Screw the intro. There is, let me tell you something. Every week, okay, I've said this over and over and over and over and over again that this is a week-to-week league, okay? It doesn't matter what this team scores against that team and that team against this team and this looks great and this looks... The Miami Dolphins are a good team. Miami Dolphins are a great team, okay? I put nothing on them to say that they're bad or they're trash or they're, maybe they're going to make excuses for the Miami. Maybe Miami's not going to be good anymore since the Eagles beat them. Whatever, let them talk, let them brag, let them say whatever they want to say. But I got to say this, okay? The Eagles had a bad week, a bad game last game against the Jets, and I totally get it. But I think that really, I think honestly that really had to happen for this team to really get their shit together and have a dominating performance. The Eagles beat the Miami Dolphins 31-17, okay? I said 31-28. I thought this was going to be a lot closer. And to be honest with you, by watching this game, the Eagles should have been up at least another touchdown in this game, okay? They should have scored close to 40 points in this game. This team they have the roster. Okay, going into this game, we were just all I was really worried about was the coaching. I wasn't worried about the defense as much, okay, because Jalen Carter was coming back and the defensive line was going to really eat. The offense with BrianJohnson was my worry, okay? Now, I think there are still little tiny issues, but this was a very dominating performance. And I got to talk about Jalen Hurts because I know that, we heard the press conference after the game. Obviously Jalen Hurts, got into a knee brace later in the game, went out of bounds, left sideline. We thought he got hurt from that moment, and apparently it didn't happen from this game. Apparently he has been injured, okay, lower body-wise, whether it's a knee, an ankle, whatever the case may be. But I know a lot of people have been shitting on Jalen Hurts. And trust me, I get it. Some of these turnovers, we've questioned some of them. We've questioned this scheme. And are they forcing Jalen Hurts to stay in the pocket at certain times? Okay. And I think that's part of it. I think maybe is a scheme thing. Maybe they don't want Hurts to run too much. I don't know. But we know that Jalen Hurts has taken a lot of hits this season. What makes him a franchise quarterback is what he did, okay, after that pick six that he had, as well as I don't put too much blame on him for that because it's a pick six deflection, okay? I don't put too much on quarterbacks when it's a pick six deflection, all right? And it happened. It sucked. We held the Miami Dolphins to 10 points in the first half. They only scored a touchdown in the second half. I mean, the Eagles did a good job all around. But offensively, okay, with Jalen Hurts, he was great. He was great. Other than, obviously the bonehead fumble that he had, which he was trying to get in and out of the pocket and use his legs, and someone just popped the ball out, okay, where Miami had short field position at that time. And then really later in the game when he threw the pick six. And then what makes him a franchise quarterback, what makes him who he is, okay, he didn't fold. He didn't panic. He didn't try to do so much on the field. He scored. He went, next drive, scored. Okay, whether it was the next drive or the next two drives. I think it was the next drive. That shows what he is as a player. Because a lot of people in my live chat the other day were saying that Jalen Hurts was is looking like Carson Wentz, or I don't know, just going kind of overboard with everything. Okay. But that's your franchise quarterback right there. That's the toughness. He's playing on top of injury, and that's how he plays. That's how he shows up for this team when they need him the most, okay? I thought he played great. The red zone is still an issue right now. I get it. They had the Dallas Goedert screen pass for a touchdown, which was awesome. There's still issues with, obviously, the way they're, whatever the type of plays they're using in red zone at times, whether a third and long, they're using a QB draw. I don't get why they're still doing that. Kenneth Gainwell is in red zone still, which I thought they used more. They definitely used more DeAndre Swift in the second half, just a little bit more, and that's fine. I know Kenneth Gainwell had the rushing touchdown after the big A.J. Brown reception, okay? So not to knock Jalen Hurts on anything. I thought he played a really good game, and I thought he played tough, and it really shows you that this man does not fold. This man is tough. This man, we are so grateful and so lucky for him to be our quarterback. Okay, because obviously the last few weeks, and he threw some picks. Some things were just. Trust me, if there's a bad pass, I'll talk about it. I don't put too much off of deflections. I mean, someone gets their hand in the air and it deflects a certain way, and unfortunately, it tied the game up. Unfortunately, it tied them up. We were up by a touchdown the second half. It tied the game up, and man, it just gave them free points. I mean, went right into the opponent's hands perfectly without any type of energy, and ran in for the touchdown. Okay, so really, I think he played great with the running backs. Rashad Penny was inactive for the game. They used a lot of Swift in the first half. Then they started mixing Kenneth Gainwell in red zone, the things that we really don't like. But the second half, they started to get, I really like that they really been putting a lot of emphasis on getting DeAndre Swift in the passing game. Nothing to Boston Scott at all. Boston Scott had no carries in this game. And then, Gainwell had the rushing touchdown. So I like that they did run at times, and I was perfectly fine with that. They ran a lot more. This is what happens when you run the football. You balance out the pass and you do your thing. It opens up a lot more for your offense. Thought the protection was good at times. They couldn't pick up blitzes at times. Sometimes the blitzes were so fast. Jalen Hurts had to do more of like a snap cadence in the second half to kind of see like what Miami was doing and kind of get that pass rush unbalanced. So they didn't get a head start on the pass rush. So they would do like a fake little cadence here and there, which was good. Kind of shows like what they're doing. If they're playing man, they're playing zone, who they're blitzing, what it's looking like. So I thought they were great. I thought they did a fantastic job offensively. A.J. Brown, 137 yards, his fifth consecutive game, 125-plus yards. I think he tied Calvin Johnson's consistent 125-plus yard record as of right now. I think he's tied with him. I think Jalen Hurts tied Randall Cunningham's rushing touchdown record as of right now, which he's definitely going to break, this year. It's just crazy. I mean, in the Kelly Greens, what they did, Devontae Smith had a few good catches. He had a big catch. I understand it wasn't a big Devontae Smith night, but I don't care. The matchups are there when they're there, and A.J. Brown had a big, fantastic day. A.J. Brown is $100 million is definitely going. It's definitely, we're spending it wisely right now is all we could say. Julio Jones was supposed to be in for like 15 to 25 snaps. That was rumored before the game. He had one catch. He blocked on a few plays. I know A.J. Brown kind of went down, not with a crazy injury, but I think he was just sore from, from a missed opportunity. I think it was an incomplete pass to the left side or something like that. But A.J. Brown at the end of the game, holy shit, man, just had big catch, crucial when we were wasting 7-8 minutes on the clock in the fourth quarter going downfield. I think it was a second or a third down. I forgot. I want to say it's second down when Hurts literally threw to A.J. Brown all the way down in between two defenders, and just fantastic throw. The one to A.J. Brown where Hurts was in trouble. He got some pressure. He went to the right side and threw a dagger. Another one to A.J. Brown, which was great. A.J. Brown is just, we're so lucky. I mean, we haven't had a guy like this since T.O. I mean, this is how crazy it is. It's that crazy. Dallas Goedert was heavily involved in the first half, which is great. Like I said, had the screen pass touchdown, and then had a crucial third down in the second half. Didn't use Goedert too much in the second half, but the first half was really good. I thought they played really well. I thought there were some good things to take away from this offense. They looked dominant. They looked like, there were times, red zone, like I said, there was a couple little tiny things, but I got to stay pretty positive. This was, offensively, they could have done a lot more, but they played amazing. Just absolutely amazing. I know in the trenches we're just better, so was very happy about that. Now, going into the defense, my God, it really came down to the defensive line. I mean, really, we know the Eagles were going to play off the ball, but I thought in the second half, the defense really started to press a little bit more. Okay. Unfortunately, we need a safety. This is bad. Terrell Edmonds. I mean, it's just to a point where when you start pressing with your corners, you need that safety help. And I thought even on the Tyreek touchdown, it was pretty bad. Terrell Edmonds is just too slow. It's just his eyes get tricked out too much, and he's just too late to the play. He's just not athletic enough to give support on plays like that, and hence why the Eagles are looking for a safety right now, which we'll get into another video. But I thought Sidney Brown was flying around a little bit, but the defensive line, guys, holy friggin' crap, man. Like, Jalen Carter was a monstrous today. Not a sack. I thought Jalen Carter had somewhat of a sack today, but I guess not. Jordan Davis was just immovable. I mean, Jordan Davis had a half sack with Fletcher Cox today, and just was a wrecking ball against the run. I mean, they only had like 40-something yards, I think, on us in the run game. Miami didn't do shit up the middle. That's why Miami started to run on the outside more, because they couldn't rush us, period, at all. I mean, everybody was getting involved. Nolan Smith had his first sack today. I was actually surprised. Derek Barnett had no tackles, no nothing. I think Derek Barnett was only in for a few snaps. He wasn't really in the whole entire game. Got a lot more reps to some of the other guys. Josh Sweat, I think, had a sack today. I forgot, but I don't know. I can't even keep track, because the whole defensive line, I think you pressure Tua, you take away his first read, you let him just a little tiny bit, just take away that first read, get pressure, and good things happen. I mean, they happened, guys. And I thought the defensive line was the main key. The secondary, obviously, they gave up some catches here and there. Bradbury and Slay had a pick today, which was very good. Kind of dipped off his route. Stopped following his guy to go get the pick, which was great. Which really helped us score down the field next drive, which was awesome. Eli Ricks, man. Eli Ricks is going to be in contention for the future. He has shown up since preseason, made the team, and every opportunity that Eli Ricks gets, he literally covered Tyreek Hill on 2 plays. I'm talking press, physical, not like Bradbury and Slay, where they were playing press at times and they would just mirror Tyreek Hill or mirror Waddle the whole entire game. I'm talking Eli Ricks got his hands on Tyreek Hill, slowed up, and disrupted his route, and got a deflection out of it. And it was perfect. Didn't look like holding, didn't look like anything. Eli Ricks, he has got to be talked about a lot more. The future of this team, God knows, because I know that they were moving Bradbury a couple times. I know they moved Eli Ricks inside. Bradbury, they're moving guys around. So Eli Ricks has been getting more of a shot, and I'm telling you right now, between Slay's contract being up after next year, the year after, or whatever it is, I think he's a free agent after next year, and Bradbury's only has another couple years here. Eli Ricks has got to be talked about for contention to be a quality starter for this team. It's very important. And plus, by the time, Eli Ricks maybe starts, his contract probably won't be that expensive in the future. But that's what I like. Like, if you're going to play press, what is the point of playing press if you're not going to get your hands on? Like, just mirroring is as worse as sitting back 10 yards. And trust me, there were plays where I saw one play, I guess it was on Waddle and Slay versus Waddle. And Slay, I swear to God, I counted it. He was off like 10 yards. And I'm sitting there like, how is he supposed to? I say this every week. How is he supposed to defend that? The 3rd and 18, I think, gave the Dolphins a lot of momentum. 3rd and 18, I said to myself, I'm afraid of the Miami offense when it comes to 3rd and long. It doesn't matter, because all it takes, if Tua gets just a little bit of protection and gets a good amount of protection, and he had a lot of protection. It was only a 4-man pass rush. They didn't really do much else on that play. 3rd and 18, only a 4-man pass rush. They didn't get to him. They got that big play, and Slay just Slade looked very old on that play. He didn't look great crossing the field to try to cover Wilson. I forgot his name, the other receiver, because I know Waddle stepped out a little bit later in the game. So I think Boston Scott had a good kick return today. It really came down to the trenches. It really did. It made the bigger difference. I know that Miami has not had a favored schedule, and now since the Eagles won this game, they're probably going to talk about Miami like, Miami just had a bad game, or Miami's beatable, okay? I've talked about this for days, that Miami is beatable. For me, it was down to the trenches, and it was down to the coaching aspect, especially on offense. This was Sean Desai's best game. Because, to be honest with you, barely had to make adjustments. Made a little bit of adjustments. You always make adjustments in every game, okay? But I think this is a game where he was the most consistent, okay? I understand why you're moving your corners back. You're not trying to give up the big play. I get it. For a team like this with a track star offense, I 100% get it, okay? You held Tyreek Hill to 88 yards, which is really good. Holding Tyreek Hill to 88 yards is a very, very good sign. It's a very good game the defense played, because half the time he's getting a $125 or close to 200 mostly, okay? He already had over 800 yards going into this game. Okay, so I thought that was that was very good. They couldn't run on us. I think it was like the third quarter when they got that momentum on 3rd and 18. I think they ran to the right for a first down, ran to the left as a first down. So they got a couple runs on us, but they held them under 50 yards rushing. I mean, they didn't do shit against us. So I felt like this was a very good stepping stone type game for the Eagles. I know in the fourth quarter, they ran the tush push. They really wasted a lot of, the clock management was perfect because Miami wasted already a lot of timeouts. I think 2 of their timeouts, they had 1 timeout left, so they used it later on. The Eagles ran the tush push 2 times. I mean, from our own 24, forgot what it was. They ran the tush push on our own 24 or went for it on 4th down on our side of the field. It's really ballsy. I was really surprised when they were going to, punt it, and then they kept the offense out there. I was like, you know what? They have got to do this. Sirianni has got to put the confidence into his players. I know. Who knows if the Eagles won against the Jets, if they would have won this game today, because I feel like they really kicked themselves in the ass after that last game against the Jets, and I think it really started to change things. I think they were really starting to I think they overlooked the Jets last week. I think they sat out too many guys that guys could have played in that game. They sat them out, and I think they overlooked the Jets last week. And then going to this game pissed off, wearing Kelly Green, a lot on the line here to show if this team is dominant, if this is a legit contender this year. This game has proved that not only is your quarterback tough and can win games and is not going to panic, and Jalen Hurts did not fold in this game, but you ran the ball. You got DeAndre Swift in the passing game. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. You got a lot of guys involved. The only guys that really haven't got involved in this game was really the wide receiver 3. A 1 catch to Julio Jones. Zacchaeus was targeted 1 time. So, I mean, there was just so much. I mean, it was almost perfect, guys. It was almost perfect. I mean, I can't nitpick at it too much. But this defensive line, Jalen Carter being disruptive. I mean, it was just all good around from everybody. Hassan Reddick was tackle for loss. I mean, he was all over the place. Not a sack for Hassan Reddick, but he was making tackles all over the place. He was playing great. So when plays are needed, it's there. It really is. That's why you draft these trench guys for this reason. So this game showed that, you have a gauntlet now. I mean, you got some things to look forward to now with, you have 2 division games, you have a bye week, then you have to face KC. You got some tough games ahead of you going into the rest of the weeks. You know what I mean? But 6-1 is great. The Eagles win 31-17. The Kelly Greens, by the way, I swear, like, to wear these 2 times a year should be against the law, because honestly, I feel like the Kelly Green should be something could be very serious for the future to wear all year, because I think it was so awesome to see it in person, not just in a trailer, like to see them actually play in these uniforms, and the respect from all the old time, alumni that played for this team, and how much it means to these older players that were playing in those jerseys years ago. I know this is a modern version of it, but it looked fantastic. So we're gonna see what I don't care what anybody thinks about this team. People from NFL Network, just the way they talk about this team, they fucking just, my God, they could have scored. Literally, they could have scored another touchdown, at least another touchdown in this game. I know the Eagles, and trust me, right when the Eagles took a few knees to end the game, we were right in the red zone. I would have tried to score another touchdown just to pour it on. Because God damn it, let me tell you, if that was the Miami Dolphins, they would have poured on more points and more points. They wouldn't have given a crap at all. I understand going to this game for the Miami Dolphins defensively. You had no Xavier Howard, Jalen Ramsey still out, but last week we played the Jets that had 3 corners out, and the play calling was atrocious. And I understand people are going to be down on Hurts this week. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be down on him because he answered the call. He answered the call. He didn't fold. He didn't panic. He didn't make too much of something. He just went back in there and did his thing. We're going to find out more about the injury this week, but this is a huge win. Okay, this is a huge win. The Miami Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins offense, the Miami Dolphins. I can't even talk right now because this win is I'm just so happy that we got this in the bag now. The Miami Dolphins offense, okay, is historically probably going to break the record in points, and we definitely helped that from not happening. But it was really down to the coaches, and that's what I was thinking about the whole entire game. Like I said, there are things to always clean up every single game, but as an offense, I think BrianJohnson did a pretty good job. Other than a couple bonehead plays in the end zone, in the red zone, I thought he played he called a pretty good game. How they use Jalen Hurts is still in question at times. I think they're forcing him to be more pocket and not unleashing him as much, and I think part of it maybe is because maybe he has been injured for the past few weeks. And it wasn't the Rams game because I already checked. It was the wrong leg. It must have happened earlier in the season that maybe Hurts has been dealing with something. But as a quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles or a quarterback in the NFL, you do not disclose your injuries because that's just giving feedback to other teams when they face you and where your weaknesses are if you are hurt, to being limited to doing different things. So I know I'm not putting out the best analysis of this game, but the Eagles dominated this shit, and I thought it was going to be a lot closer. I really did. I said 31-28. That's what I thought. I thought in the fourth quarter they would have separated a little bit more with that score and kick the winning field goal before the fourth quarter ended, and the Eagles will win the game and do their thing. But yeah, I can't really complain. Defense as a whole, you're going to play off the ball. The things are going to happen like that, but I thought they played amazing. I'm proud of Jalen Hurts for being tough in this game. I'm proud of this team for really showing up on a very important week, Sunday Night Football. The whole world is watching. I'm very grateful of this win, and I'm thankful of the coaching staff to really put these players in the right position to win this game off a loss last week that was, it really came down to accountability, and I think that's what we've seen. A.J. Brown, just, my God, I just can't even. I could go on and on. It's ridiculous, and you win games in the trenches, and this was a game where you had to really win in the trenches between the offensive line and the defensive line for the Eagles. That defensive line was just, it was a fantastic unit today, last night, whenever you're watching this. And, yeah, I'm psyched up. I'm ready to go. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the next few days till we get ready for Washington. And, you held Tyreek to under 100 yards. You did you held, Miami could barely run the ball on us. They really couldn't do much. They really had to depend on taking shots downfield. And every time Tyreek Hill was in motion, 100 times, 100% of the game, if he's in motion, he's getting the ball immediately. They started force feeding him a little bit, so it was great. It was fantastic. Thought the time management was great at the end of the game. They wasted like 7-8 minutes on the clock. They did a fantastic job there. Touchdown to Kenneth Gainwell in red zone. So a lot of good things to take out of it. A lot of great things to take out of it, and I think we're just going to be moving up and going up as fast as possible. So let me know what you guys think of the game in general. Just give me your thoughts on it. I'd like to see all your comments on it, how happy people are. I know people are going to be trashing Jalen Hurts, and I understand. I totally get it. But as the fumble, sure, he should just slid on the ground and not hold the ball in his hands. He's moving, he's moving, middle of the pocket backwards, and then the ball, the ball pops right out. Someone takes a shot at him, and that's it. But the deflection pick six, I can't put too much on it. It's deflected. I can't, that ball can go in any direction. And unfortunately, it landed in the wrong hands at the most easy time for a player to catch the ball. With no energy to even get the ball in a crazy way for an interception. It was literally right to somebody for that pick six, which really sucked. So, but it didn't phase this team. It didn't. Our team didn't fold. Our quarterback didn't fold, and that's all I got to say. We played tough, and we could stand with any team in the league. It's really down to these coaches and down to these players and down to our health. Miami Dolphins had 10-plus penalties. I think they had 10. I don't know if it was 10-plus or just 10. I know they had 10 in this game. I don't think the Eagles had a penalty in this game, which is definitely a huge plus. So, week-to-week league. Stop this bullshit every week on who's who, who beats who and all this shit. It's all I hear all week. It's all I hear from everything. You beat one of the best offenses. You just beat one of the best offenses. The best offense in passing. Okay? Their statistics went down a shit ton in this game. So, that's all I got to say. But you guys have a fantastic day. And I will see you guys on the next one. Enjoy it. Shakes them up, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.